approved 59.7 million naira grant for the takeoff of the state security network codenamed Operation Amotekun. The fund would be for the procurement of 3,000 uniforms, combat boots, lanyard, baseball hats, security belts, and socks. It will also cover the production of logo to identity and distinguish between personnel from other security agencies. Commissioner for Information, Culture and Terrorism, Wasil Olatunbosun, who addressed reporters after the state's 19th virtual executive meeting, said, for the effective takeoff of Operation Amotekun, the State Executive Council SEC has approved the procurement of 3,000 uniforms, and such as combat boots, lanyard, baseball hats, security belts, socks, production of Amotekun and Oyo State's logo for 3,000 cops at 59.7 million naira. The uniforms will identify and distinguish the corps from other security agencies. Olatunbosun added that the council also approved funds for re-accreditation of Adeoyo Maternity at Yemetu, Ibadan as a fully fledged teaching hospital. The initial accreditation was withdrawn because the facility did not have the necessary equipment required for such. He said, in pursuit of this loyal goal, the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria has visited Adeoyo Maternity Teaching Hospital, and the team has notified the government of its intention to re-accredit it. Equipment to be procured includes 6 hydraulic delivery beds, 2 theater, electronic automatic table, 1 laparoscope, and 1 hysteroscope, 1 colposcope, 2 CTG, 2 ultrasound, 4 angle poise lamps, and 1 ball anesthetic machine. These equipment will cost 75 million naira, and the facility should be ready before the end of the year.
Welcome back. And we are still on Spectacle discussing some national issues as INEC wants to transmit elections live from the polling units. They have set up what? Dedicated portals. And we have Oyo State approving 59.7 million naira for Amotekun takeoff. And that was a report you just had. And I want to begin with you, Dan Morgan. Regional security, Amotekun taking off in Oyo State. Could we say that because the election is by the corner and the security outfit is being empowered to ensure victory either for the governor or actually for security purpose?
I want to say that I'm not in support of regional security outfits.
Okay.
I'm not in support. There are reasons why I don't support such security outfits.
Okay.
Look, Amotekun is the Southwest security outfit. It might give rise to every region of this country wanting to have its own security outfit.
Okay.
And God forbid, there is crisis within states. For example, between maybe Kaduna State and the neighboring states, maybe Kano also. If there are security outfits from these states, these people will, the arms that are owned by these people will use to fight themselves.
Of course.
Look, I don't know why governors want to own their own security.
That's like indirect state police.
Yes, I don't know the reason. Because the police is there. Why not enhance community policing? Okay. Why do governors want to have their own security outfits? And look, if we are not careful, our country can become Colombia.
Okay.
Because every state will have its own security.
Yes.
You know, that will protect only the interests of the governors.
Okay.
It will be used as a political tool against dissenting voices.
Okay.
So for me, I do not support regional security outfit in this country. It should be the regular police, but we can improve it through the means of community policing. Okay. These people who are in the communities can be enrolled, and I think the police is doing, the IG, is doing something on this on community policing. I think they were even recruiting people. I don't see the need for regional outfit at all. Okay. For me, it's not a welcome development, and I wonder why they're trying to do it now that the elections are by the corner.
All right, that's good. Election is by the corner, and they said it's a regional security.
Yes, but on the elections are by the corner.
But Oyo just kick off by giving them this amount of money, although since it is regional security, we're expecting that the entire southwestern zone will kick their Motekun operation at the same time. What are you suspecting could have led to this takeoff in only Oyo State?
Well, we cannot dwell beyond the visible, what we can see. Yeah. We don't know what the governor is thinking or whatever, if there are ulterior motives. Okay. But if what they will tell you that at the center of it all is security of lives and property of the citizens.
Which is very important.
Which is very, very important. Now, looking at the rising wave of crime that's being reported every day. So I think I don't want to really disagree with the Motekun or any other form of security. Okay. People trying to help themselves. It has always been there. Yeah. We've always had even village vigilante, community vigilante. You understand? And even like some states, like I know about Anambra, they have this AVS, Anambra Vigilante Service, that the government has even empowered, giving them guns and all of that, and they've been trying a whole lot to help in curtailing crime within their state. So if states can, within that, come together and say, okay, let's have a regional, something that is uniform, I think it's not actually a very bad idea. No. But the thing is that they should form a synergy between the Nigeria police force, the recognized security outfits, in terms of their operational modalities, trainings, and all of that, so that it's going to be kind of a support system to the police. We all know that Nigerian police, in fact, they are limited in so many ways. Exactly. They talk about manpower. The other time they said they needed more, they are going to employ 10,000 policemen. And at the end of the day, we heard stories and all of that. And every day we have crime, we have kidnapping on the rise. And so they wouldn't just wait for the Nigerian police to come and rescue,
because the crime is
getting out of hand every day.
It's getting obvious that the normal paramilitary and security operatives
seems to be overwhelmed. In fact, even the military that don't have to intervene in civil issues have been pulled out from the barracks. There, you now find them being joined together to do the work that normally should be done by the police force. So if you have these vigilante services or non-state actors coming together to support. The main thing is security of lives and property. And if they have a synergy between the police force and some other security, it's going to curb that fear of, okay, maybe it's because of election, you want to use it to use election, or politicians are going to hijack it, all of that. So at the end, the center of it all is the main intent of forming these outfits to secure lives and property and checkmate criminals and criminal elements in the society.
Okay, there has been some thoughts in some quarters that the Motekun is actually created to checkmate the rising wave of herdsmen crisis and Fulani herdsmen crisis and banditry in order for the region to secure itself. Are we kind of trying to practice regionalism in terms of security, or what do you think?
That is what I'm saying. You see, we have even the vigilante of Nigeria is there already, nationwide.
You hear Mietiala saying they want to also form their own vigilante across the nation. So now with the takeoff of Amotekun, don't you think it will justify other people, bringing out security operatives within their region?
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying that once this Amotekun takes off, every region in this country will want to have the same thing. It will be regulated around, and it will not be good for us, because let's not just forget that if tomorrow these guys are armed, let's look at the level of who will employ them, who will train them.
The state government.
Good. Now, who will equip them.
The state government.
Good equipment. Good. So how do we know that these people who are recruited are people of competent character that can be armed and they will not use this arm to turn around and hurt people?
Well, according to what I heard, I don't know, it could be a presumption or an assumption that they are on oath because they are on traditional oath to defend the territory, the lives and properties of their people. But we take a stand from what happened in 2003 to 2007 during the reign of Bola Tinubu, where you see the OPC, the Odua People's Congress, taking charge of security operatives in the entire Lagos state. It wasn't something to say highly recommendable or recommended at all, if you ask me. But with the recent introduction of this Motekun, we want Nigerians to react whether it is proper to stay put with it, regional security, or we go back to the drawing board to ensure that our security operatives, talking about the police and this army, do what they have to do appropriately. Still on your take, Mr. Charles, while we wait for the calls.
Okay, now, if you talk about security, we have always had issues with securing lives and property in Nigeria. Even when we have the conventional police force, you have issues. Go back to the records. You've seen where even the Nigerian police is being accused of being used to perpetrate some form of...
And not to talk of unconventional.
Good.
Exactly. So now, it's a problem. It's a fundamental problem. But do we, because of that, to curtail that, now allow people to be killed, people to be kidnapped on the mass? I think any action that will help to checkmate criminal elements, to me, it's welcome. But then the government, in its end, should ensure, knowing fully well that the system is vulnerable to some influences, to ensure that there are some measures put in place,
especially the bias influence due to affiliation, political party,
especially
godfatherism, and so on. Anyway,
politics is a major
your
problem.
state governor, you are listening, Makinde, you have to be very, very careful and train these guys to be professional in their conduct and in their operations. We just have less than 15 minutes to go, so let's take the last story, which is on nepotism and Fela's view. Please enjoy the video. Nepotism in Nigeria and Fela's view. Let's have that take.
Fela's view on ethnic bias, extracted from the book titled Fela, This Beach of a Life by Carlos Moore, PhD. This may give us a better idea of ethno-tribal relationship. An interviewer asked, Fela, you are a Southern Nigerian, but you recently presented a special gift to specially thank Inspector General of Police, MD Yesufu, who is a Northern Nigerian prince. This raised eyebrows in some quarters, especially due to the fact that many Southern Nigerians avoid Northern Nigerians. What's your take on this? And Fela's response was, I don't care about any raised eyebrows. I care only about the person that saved my life and my career. During Gowon's regime, a certain policeman known as Sunday Adeusu made life unbearable for me. He promised me that I will never rest, and he made sure I never had rest because I was always arrested, beaten up, and charged to court almost on a weekly basis on the orders of Sunday Adeusu. Now tell me, is Sunday Adeusu a Northern? Let it be known that when Murtala came to power and made MD Yusufu the Inspector General, my house was never raided, not even once. I have evidence of people going to meet MD Yusufu to raid my house and get me jailed, but he always replied them that Fela is not a criminal. Why do you think Obasanjo sent soldiers to burn down my house? It was because MD Yusufu refused to obey his orders to send policemen he controlled to do such an illegal thing. So, is Obasanjo a Northern Nigeria, and Murtala and MD Yusufu, are they Southern Nigerians? Even when Abiola owed me money and I occupied his Decker building to force him to pay me my money, it was the same MD Yusufu that settled the matter. Instead of paying me my money, Abiola went to court to get a court order mandating police to arrest me and detain me But MD Yusufu refused to obey a court order to arrest me, but instead spoke to me like a brother. So, tell me, was Abiola a northern Nigerian, or was MD Yusufu a southern Nigerian? Even when I sued Obasanjo to court for burning down my house, was Justice Dosumu that threw out my case from court a northern Nigerian? Even Tunji, that was my lawyer at that time, didn't he bungle my case from the beginning, using me to get popular in Lagos? Was Tunji a southern Nigerian? I will never join anybody in believing that everything from southern Nigeria is good and everything from northern Nigeria is bad. I have been helped by many southern Nigerians, and I have been victimized by so many southern Nigerians. Sunday Adeosi, Obasanjo, Abiola, Tunji, you name it. MD Yusufu was good to me, even though he's a northern Nigeria. So why won't I go to his official residence to present him the gift? Extracted from the book titled Fela, This Beach of a Life by Carlos Moore, PhD.
Welcome back. That was Fela, the late Fela Anikulapo Kuti, who is good and gifted, or who was good and gifted in live band and emphatic statement, saying that the nepotism that he saw in the country between the northern Nigeria and the southern were not as individual basis. It is political, and we have to stop it. He gave account of how his own people from his region of the southwest, made him suffer a lot of disdain, and the northern people happens to be the people helping him then, so that we should eschew what? Nepotism. And today we still see it coming out to play in our political arena, even our social arena, and we felt we should bring the archive out from this bona fide elder statesman to see what Nigerians are thinking. Within this short 5 minutes, we'll do the analysis, and you are free to join us via the lines displayed on your screen. Mr. Charles, nepotism between South and the North in the country, how do we stop this misgiving, judging from the take of Fela right now?
Yeah, from what I get, just whenever nepotism is being mentioned, I reflect on it, and I think it's not really about people, it's not really about individuals, it's not really about the North or the South as geopolitical regions and all of that. Okay. Because if it were, I wouldn't be here. I'm not from the North. Okay. And some people in the South will not be there because exactly. You understand. So it's all about politics. Exactly. These things are being perpetuated and stoked by politics. It's politicians that raise all this nepotism. It's politicians that perpetrate the nepotic act. Because even if you look at when Fela talked about the Adeosun and all of that, ordinarily Adeosun is his brother. But you find out that it's some vested interest. Perhaps Adeosun or Obasanjo, exactly. They are politicians. And so on. Even Abiola, he said. And Fela said something that didn't go down well with them. Yes. And then they went after him. So somebody else that is not really thinking about politics protected him as a human being. So I think efforts to end nepotism should be centered on politics. And we have to praise MD Yusuf, the then police commissioner. Exactly. And also we have who stood firm and refused all presidential order to burn down his house. Yes. You could imagine. And he was a northerner. Anyway, your take so that we can call it a day from here.
I'll first of all say that, look, we are first and foremost Nigerians before anything else. Okay. We are first and foremost Nigerians before we are anything else. Yes. So, and good people are everywhere. Right. Bad people are everywhere. There are bad people in the North, there are good people in the North, there are bad people in the South, there are good people in the South. But what we should look at should be merit. And I want to call on the government. We should abolish the issue of state of origin in our country. Okay. We should be using state of residence. Wherever you are born or where you have stayed for, it becomes your place. Please. Nobody should ask you to go back to where your parents came from, to get a letter from a village of a document as you know that you are state on an origin of that place. Anywhere you live, for 5 to 10 years.
Once you are a citizen,
Just like it's practiced all around the world.
Yeah.
It should be state of residence.
Okay.
When we begin to look at state of residence, we will begin to look at merit. Whether he's Igbo, whether he's Hausa, whether he's thief, whether he's Efik, it doesn't matter. Will he do the job? It should be content of character.
Yeah.
It should be competence.
Just like we the Idoma extraction of Benue asking the thief to support them for governor.
Of course, there are good people. The Domas can rule the state.
Yeah, of course.
They have competent people that can rule.
Anyway.
So we should look. First of all, we should look at ourselves as Nigerians before with the issue of even tribe and religion comes in. Yeah. We should look at ourselves as Nigerians, and when we look at ourselves as brothers and sisters, we will do well. We will support each other.
I think if you are saying we, I think we don't have a problem with that, because when you go to the market, you don't care whether it's an Hausa or what you need, you buy. When you go to the church, you don't care whether the person is from Sokoto or Taraba. You are also,
you just listen to the preaching.
When you go to school, you don't care whether the lecturer is Igbo or Hausa. It's whatever he's giving to you. I don't think the people have that problem.
Okay.
It is governance.
So the government sometimes use what Karl Marx would say, the opium of the masses. So it's not only religion.
Exactly.
So the masses have to know. On the last take here, gentlemen, let me thank you for coming on Spectacle. The masses have to know that the two tribes in politics are the tribe of the elites and the tribe of what? The masses. There is no Hausa, there is no Yoruba, there is no Efik, there is no Igbo. So in politics, you have the elites and you have the masses. So whichever way you belong, first of all, remember the creed. The Nigerian creed. We would be dealing with the creed on Monday. We seem to have forgotten the creed and the symbol of authority of our nation, which is the unity, faith, peace, and progress. So we must remember them. And the creed, don't forget, is the national pledge. If you go into the content of the national pledge, no doubt you will be definitely be a patriotic Nigerian. Spectacle stops here, and thanks for watching. Follow us on our social media platforms, drop your comments, and if you want us to do any commercial activities for you, reach us via the lines displayed on the screen. I have been Daniel Atai.
Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai.